everybody, and welcome back to the OJ podcast. I'm Olivia, one of your two hosts.
And I'm Jamie, your other host.
She loves me so much, guys. So anyway, for today's episode, we are going to be talking about the Monaco Grand Prix for Formula One.
Yes, I got my McLaren
I hate
Monaco
you.
shirt on.
I'm in my Mercedes merch because I wore my Charles merch yesterday and may have spilled stuff on it. No comment on what it was. That makes it sound worse than it is, though, doesn't it?
We had a very fun weekend up at a cabin, so because it was Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, obviously. So yeah, anyway, we did wake up super early on vacation to watch the Monaco Grand Prix.
What's the Monaco Grand Prix? You can't not wake up early to watch it.
According to everyone on the internet that said it was boring, you can, but you and I are not those people.
No.
We actually had a lot of fun watching this race, didn't we?
I did have a lot of fun watching this race, but it's also going to be a race that it'll never be like this again.
Well, I think they have to eliminate that two-stop. I think it was entertaining for the strategy once, but clearly this will just be the strategy, and it did not work.
Well, it worked for the people who did it. It didn't work.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong, but
it wasn't. Was it the best thing to do? Was it like?
I mean, strategy-wise, brilliant for the teams who did it. But in terms of entertainment, I think it's funny for one race, which is why you and I liked it. We were like, haha. But I think in general, probably not the best for the sport. So I'm willing to bet they're going to keep Monaco. It's iconic.
Yeah. Well, they got to keep Monaco for those billionaires.
Yes.
The money.
Jeff Bezos in attendance clearly needs to see the Monaco GP.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they have to keep it, but I think it's proven that this is a bad experiment and that it's time to go back to one. But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll do just like a general overview before getting into some of our more fun thoughts on the race. I mean, free practice. I was really happy because Charles was on top 1, 2, and 3.
Topping the free practices. Which was great. I was also rooting for him. Like, who doesn't want a home race win? Especially such an iconic home race win.
Well, especially since last year he expelled his demons. I really wanted him to win again.
And it was looking hopeful. But as Charles said, not much hope. A little bit more, but not much.
I mean, was there anything else entertaining? There was crashes in quali.
There was a couple. Isaac was having some troubles. But he did perfectly
go over
fine.
That in, like, our crashing section.
Otherwise, I don't think there was much that
fairly
really
uneventful.
I mean, down just kind of the orders, which were the stereotypical orders, the McLarens, Charles.
Well, Charles usually is.
Well, it's true. Charles isn't a stereotypical. For once, he was.
That man only races Monaco in the sim, and you cannot tell me otherwise.
Max was struggling a little bit, but he also came into the weekend expecting to struggle.
Yeah, because the Red Bull car isn't meant for that type of track, whereas weirdly enough, Ferraris is. They're built for Monaco. That's what the announcers were saying, I feel like, during the race.
True.
They were like, the certain amount of like grip force or whatever on the car gets into the technical.
Fancy stuff.
I just watch car go fast and I go, ooh, I think this driver did good. I think this driver did bad. Here's what I liked about the sport. Here's what I don't like about the sport. You're the more technical person.
I am the more technical person. And yeah, the cars were better in Monaco, but was that a one-off thing or what? Who knows?
Probably. I mean, maybe next time they're in Italy.
Yeah.
They'll prove it again, because I think their cars they were talking about are better on street circuits.
Yes. I think they did say that, if I remember, because Charles then won, or got third in, I can't remember.
He did Italy.
No.
So that was last week.
My brain wants to say Miami, but it's not Miami, because I know it's
Bahrain?
not. Whatever's before Miami.
I think it was Bahrain.
No, there's one after that one. Saudi Arabia.
It's the other Middle Eastern country.
Saudi Arabia.
Oh, we're so ignorant.
That's okay. It's just mainly forgetting.
We're ignorant.
Some of the races are boring. I don't even remember if that one was boring.
No,
or
I
not.
liked that one, I think. They kind of meld.
Yeah, they really do meld.
I liked Miami Sprint. That's the one that sticks out in my mind.
You really love the Miami
Sprint.
So
much fun. It's like Brazil last year. I like rain races.
Yeah, of course
Yeah.
Of course you
Maximum
do.
crashing.
Anyways, let's get on to qualifying.
Sad quali for me.
Oh, yeah, the Mercedes were having some
My poor Merc.
troubles.
Sure.
Yeah.
George getting pushed in like the princess he was, though, brought me a lot of joy. That should already be a meme, and I'm disappointed in the internet. Is it? I guess I'm not on that corner just yet.
Oh my god, yeah, it's a meme. Ugh, there's so many different meme versions of that.
Okay, well, excuse me for reading today instead of scrolling F1 Reddit, TikTok.
I wasn't doing
and
that
stuff.
either. I was driving all
You were
day.
driving us back.
But
you
anyways,
know what?
qualifying went great for me. I actually liked how qualifying went.
I was devastated for Charles, though, and Lando beat him at the last possible
second. That was an insane move.
He aggressively knowed again, right?
Yeah. And for the first time ever, someone's gone less than 70 seconds in Monaco. So that was a momentous occasion
he was
for Lando.
zooming, but it was devastating as a Charles fan.
Yeah.
Especially in like one of the few races to where like he's probably going to have the chance to be up there. And everyone knows if you qualify well in Monaco, there's a good chance you're gonna win. So it's not it's not a guarantee. Like Ferrari's messed up.
Yeah.
But I mean, vast majority of the time you win. So for him to get out qualified there, I mean, you could see it on his face. But like otherwise, qualifying was devastating as a Mercedes fan because it's really hard to pass in Monaco, and to go out 14th and 15th in Q2 was not the dream. And then it was quite sad. But I mean, anything else in quali that we aren't going to talk about later as like a general summary?
No. It was quali. It was very busy.
Yeah.
Lots of people on the track, but that's expected.
Lots of little bonks.
The McLarens did something interesting going out twice for that last one.
I feel like
in Q3 being the first ones out, that was an interesting thing that no one expected to see, but they did it, and it worked out well for them. It worked out very well.
Monaco's track is meant to get better for your tires as it continues, so I mean, it makes sense that you'd want the second time. I mean, I guess let's go to the race. I mean, I know you and I found the race really funny.
I found that race so funny, and I don't understand why people didn't like it. I guess
there wasn't much movement, so that would probably be why.
True, but I guess like some people like true grit in the sport, and that wasn't a true grit strategy.
Sometimes the meme races are just like where it's at. Like I loved seeing Liam, you've seen the meme, like the tractor holding everybody up behind. Like it's funny. And variety is the spice of life, guys. If we have super intense races every time, we won't enjoy them as much because it'll be like, why didn't this happen? But when you have funny stuff like this, like you learn to appreciate it more. And also, it was just really funny to watch the teams play leapfrog. Devastating for me, but very funny.
Yeah, it was like, I think one of the biggest problems with that is it did help the leaders a lot. They didn't have to worry about much up there. They were sitting comfortably, as we saw with Max at the end of the race.
I would agree that was the biggest problem by far. But, I mean, the pack was pretty spread out. And I mean, granted, a lot of that was because Williams and Racing Bulls just slowing everybody down. But, I mean, you saw it with Lewis. Lewis wasn't really impeded by that, and he was still like 44, 48. Whatever his radio message said behind.
It was like there was a huge gap behind him, a huge gap in front of him, and he was just like
la-di-da.
Like that's all he could do.
So, I mean, I still think there probably would have been a gap that opened.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, and I'm just happy not everybody stopped at the beginning. Like, I'm glad there was variation in strategy.
At the beginning were the right people to stop at the beginning, in my opinion, because it was like all the people toward the back.
Well, it backfired due to Racing Bulls is the thing, because they held everybody up. So any potential you would have gained, I mean, I think we just go into strategy because I think that's what you and I really want to talk about. So we can
it was so good.
We can just skip to that section. I mean, honestly, I mean, we can maneuver our own, but on our little listy, we're skipping around.
Yeah.
I mean, Racing Bulls, I think, clearly had the right strategy.
Right ideas.
Was it annoying as a viewer to watch? Not really in you and I's case, but I mean, as a racer,
understand.
it's like it's not true.
It's not
motor.
true racing because they were going under the speed of their cars.
Yeah.
Like, but it was funny.
It was so funny. And clear, like, they were the most influential team of the race because it
100%.
sounds like a lot of teams weren't planning on doing it until
Uh-huh.
during the race when they saw how effective it was. Like, that's what you heard from Williams. I think that's what
Mhm.
Mercedes would have tried to do had they got back in front, even if they claimed to not remember the two-stop mandatory. I don't know what happened there. We'll get into that as well. But like, clearly it was the correct strategy because it got
Yeah.
both their drivers in points. Liam gets
Oh.
his first points of the year. Isaac finishes sixth, I believe. Was it fifth?
Sixth. It was sixth, which is the highest he has scored, and also got him up to 10th in the drivers' championship.
Ahead of Lance Stroll,
I
finally.
know. Thank God.
Speaking of Lance Stroll, screwing over Charles in quali. Or not quali, in practice.
Free practice. What was he doing there?
He doesn't know how to use his mirrors.
No, he does not. He was like, I didn't see Charles coming. Okay, Bo.
Anyway, back to Racing Bulls. I think when everyone realized what was going on, like,
They all
during
went,
the
"Oh,
race.
shit. Well, we got to do that too.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, they saw how effective it was. And unfortunately, it did open the massive
Uh-huh.
gap with the leaders. But, like, also, it's so
Well,
effective
because-
in Monaco of all tracks because it's so hard
Mhm.
to pass.
Because Isaac was the main focus there, and
Mm.
he was so high up, so anyone above him got such an advantage.
Yeah.
Due
I mean,
to it.
also, I mean, there were a few people, I believe, in between, right? Like, you had
There were,
Esteban.
Yeah, you have Esteban and stuff like
Who
that.
was the other one? It was Esteban, and there was
Lewis
someone else.
eventually got in front of Isaac, but I think that was after a pit stop. So there was Lewis, there was Esteban,
Who was the other one up there?
and Fernando.
Ah, it did. But I think there was another one, no?
No, Liam qualified 9th.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking over the order now. It was Lando, Charles, Oscar, Max, and then
Isaac because of the penalties.
Yeah, Isaac,
and then it was
Fernando, Lewis,
Alonso, Esteban, Lewis. We're missing someone.
That would be Liam next, right?
Liam, and then
Yeah, okay, so we were
Alex.
right. And then, but anyway, that benefited especially like the Haas team with Esteban and
Mhm.
everything. So yeah, I mean, clearly Racing Bull's most influential team of the day, in my opinion.
100%.
And clearly their strategy worked, and that leads us into Williams then just going, "I'm going to steal your homework."
I'm gonna do that same exact thing, which is very interesting from them, just because they weren't both in points.
Mm-mm.
They were trying to both be in points.
Well, I think they were trying to guarantee they at least get one
One
point with
point.
Alex.
Yeah, and so we had Carlos holding up the line again, so then Alex could get his 2 pit stops, and then they switched,
Which I
is
think was really
different
smart.
which is different from what.
No,
Racing
I think
Bulls
they did. I think Isaac held them up in the back as
Did
well for
he?
Liam. I think it was shown less, but I think it happened because that was around the time I think when the
I
leaders were
just
hitting.
didn't think it happened because Liam was so far back compared to Isaac.
No, because I think after the 2 pits, both Esteban and Fernando got ahead of Isaac for a little bit.
True. Yes,
I think.
I do remember that. I think.
I don't know. I mean, it was pretty early in the morning for us. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do think there was a little bit of a switcheroo, or they took advantage of the Alex Carlos situation. But
Yeah.
regardless, I mean, the pit stops happened the way they happened.
Yeah.
There was a huge gap.
switcheroo. And then Alex held back George, and George got pissed off.
I mean, I would too.
Honestly, that's such like a best friend moment between the two of them.
Well, I know if I were there and I were Alex, I would be. I mean, I know he said he didn't enjoy doing it because he didn't find it
Yeah.
racing at the end, but like the petty part of me would be cackling.
Cackling.
It's so funny because you know there's like nothing they can do about it. So
No.
you just get to sit there going hee 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 hee.
And like there's no rules against it. Which if they do the 2-stop, that's what they need to change. Rules against how
Yeah.
slow your car can
And I
go.
imagine they would because I mean I didn't mind the 2-stop as a strategy because it does open the door, but I think you'd have to have a rule over the holding people
Yeah,
up. But
I
I still
agree.
think teams would do that. I just think they would be more sneaky about it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like if it's that effective as a strategy, and then obviously ignore that. Obviously, I forgot my train of thought.
Are we talking about Mercedes next?
Ah, yes, Mercedes. They did something.
They really did something.
I don't know how they managed to move. Well, it was probably because of the crashes, but they moved up.
They got moved up due to like Gabe and Kimmy's crash.
No,
and then...
Gabe was trying to overtake Kimmy though, so that wouldn't move them up.
Was he? Oh yeah, that would have
attempted
moved them up.
overtake, which is why he was so aggressive.
I don't actually. Oh, it was probably Pierre and Yuki's crash. I wasn't paying
Pierre was
attention
up
to them.
there. Well, I feel like they were showing the leaders more at that point, and then they showed Pierre's car sadly limping.
But they did get up. They were like 11th and 12th, or no, they were 12th and 13th,
which is better than what they.
Yeah, before.
No, I think it was 11th.
But that was before Fernando.
Yeah, I think they ended 11th and 18th.
Well, yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about before the Williams stuff. They were 12.
Gotcha.
Yeah, before then they realized and went, oh, we forgot about 2 pit stops.
What were they doing?
I don't know.
Like, were they smoking weed or something? Like, were they high? Like, what? I love Toto. I love Mercedes as a team. I think they're wonderful, but that was a Ferrari level disaster class of strategy.
How George and Kimmy didn't bring it up.
I'm sure they did because I know I don't pay for the F1 app. I mooch off her or ESPN, and she sits and listens to Oscar only. So I'm sure if we listened to their radio messages of the drivers I liked, we could have found out. But we didn't. Now, did we, Jamie?
No, because why would I do that when I'm the one paying $10 a month?
Mm-hmm. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think Williams had the right idea copying, and obviously it worked out because Fernando's brakes are breaking. I'm sure we could also get into some of the strategy. We don't actually have them on the list, but Red Bull.
Red Bull had strategy?
Yeah, because they were trying to hold Max out for the safety car, and they did the same for Yuki.
Oh, yes. The safety car wait. Yes. At the end there where they just tried to hold Max and hope for a red flag.
Yeah, I mean, I personally thought that was really smart.
Oh, that was the only way to go about it. Like, that would have guaranteed Max got
points,
first.
And it would have put Yuki higher up.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it didn't work, but I mean, when your options are first or fourth, you have to take the
you
chance.
Have to take the chance.
Yeah.
And he was never, even when he pitted, I don't think he was gonna catch Oscar.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So it didn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, you have McLaren as the strategy. I mean,
McLarens, I've mainly put it up there with they were trying to do the pit stop thing with Charles, where they were trying to get a fast pit stop, and that just got screwed up.
Can't match Ferrari's pit stop.
No,
pace,
they can't.
Weirdly enough, that's where Ferrari excels.
Ferrari has pit stop pace, and that's about it going for them.
I mean, they attempted something. Clearly, it didn't work.
Yeah, they tried to get Oscar in second there, anyway.
But I mean, I mean, Lando did a decent job holding off. I think he did the right call by backing off Max a little bit and excelling out of like knowing when to slow down, knowing when to accelerate to prevent Charles from passing at the end, and trying to force Oscar to pressure Charles.
The end was my favorite part.
He's just going zoom when he had space.
That, and then also the fact of Charles being like, Lando's going too slow, and then in the cooldown room, Lando going, it was because of Max.
Yeah, the sass was immaculate. But yeah, I mean that's the general strategy. Like, I'm sure other teams had strategy, but those were the ones that
stood out the most. Especially the Mercedes going all the way down to 18th because Kimmy had the pit twice.
I think he finished 3 laps back. It was what I read.
Yeah.
It was at least 2. It might have been
I
3.
feel bad for Kimmy because that was not on him. That was 100%
first
on
ever
the team.
Monaco GP, the most iconic race in all of F1, maybe all of racing other than the Indy 500.
Well, this was Christmas weekend in motorsport. They call it Christmas weekend.
Yeah, you and I were talking about this. Like, it's not Christmas. What?
It's Christmas in the motorsport world.
I mean, yeah. I would argue maybe it's since we're American, but I would argue I've heard Indy a lot more than I've heard Monaco.
I think it's because we're American.
I think it's because we're American, though. I think worldwide it's probably Monaco. Yeah. But I mean, it was a fun weekend for both of us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's go into some of the crashes, because that was what we were supposed to go to before I forced us into strategy.
Some of them were ittle bitty bitty baby ones. Oscar had a little wall tap.
Little bonk.
He had a lot of wall
He had
taps.
a lot
as
of
he
little
said,
bonks.
as he said himself, this is the most he has ever hit a wall. Walls in one weekend.
Tisk tisk. I mean,
Isaac had some crashes in free practice, and I feel
he keeps doing that and then being fine in the
I
races.
know. I think it's like he needs to get it out of his system.
A little bonk bonk before quali.
This is how to get it out of his system.
Pierre's car
so it won't
limping.
Pierre, that was crazy. His brakes literally broke, and he had to just keep going, limping
And everyone being
along.
like, "This is dangerous. What is he doing?" And Pierre, like, I cannot
can't.
stop.
And then, did you see that other pit engineers had to help him move his car out of the pit lane, and that's why they had to close it? Because
yeah, I
eventually
did
it
see that. Yeah, it's
He
crazy.
was having some. And why is it always Pierre and Yuki?
I don't know.
It is always
And
Pierre
they love
and
to
Yuki.
do karaoke together, so it makes me really sad that they keep hitting.
It's always those two, and I don't get it.
I think Yuki is a magnet for Carlos
I
and
think he
Pierre,
is.
but only Carlos and Pierre.
I think he is. He is a magnet and just likes those two
Yeah.
so much.
Just a little kiss to remind them that he's there.
Yeah.
Let's get into the car troubles then, because I don't think none of the crashes were as scary as Yuki's last week.
No, nothing like a Mola.
Alonso's brakes on fire. You called that, by the way. I'm pretty sure. I think you said. I think Fernando will not finish because his brakes are weird. And you know what? I think it was his engine technically, but I'm giving it to you.
I knew he wasn't gonna finish because of car failure. Because his car.
I
shit.
think we were wrong on
Stroll's
the
is
Aston
fine.
Martin. Well, Stroll's might be because Daddy owns the team, but I think Aston Martin's strategy or their upgrade. It's late when we're filming ish.
Yeah.
Their upgrades are not upgrading as much as they'd like. I mean,
it-
Fernando, he might actually be
He
the
did put
unluckiest
it there.
person other than
I
maybe
think
Charles
he is.
Leclerc.
I think that was.
But he's
him on the
unlucky.
radio too, getting so frustrated.
I wish he
like,
pulled a Raikkonen and walked to his yacht
Oh, that would
or
have been
something.
So
I don't
funny,
even know if
because
he has a yacht.
100% has to have a yacht.
I mean,
No way
this
that
long?
man has been in the
Yeah.
Formula One for this long and doesn't have a yacht. Max has a yacht.
yeah. I mean, did Pierre have car troubles
Well,
other
the
than his
brakes.
braking? Okay.
It's the brakes.
Okay. So we can skip him, and then we obviously had George just having his engine turn off during quali,
Oh, that
or
was
losing
so-
all power
he
and getting
lost
his
all
dramatic princess
power.
walk.
in the tunnel, and that was the only
Yeah,
way
there's,
to
like,
get it
nothing you
out
can
of
do.
the tunnel.
I know you were panicking because Oscar didn't have a time yet, and you were worried he would get knocked out.
I was
You too.
panicking.
And I'm like, Jamie, it stopped. And Jamie's sitting there panicking, not listening to me that it stopped. And I'm like, Jamie, it stopped. And she's like, he's not going to get a time. He's going to be out Q2, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Jamie, it stopped.
Qualifying is the most important thing in Monaco. He needed to do well. He would have been fine if it was any other race, because I know that man can overtake. But it's Monaco.
Yeah, I mean,
Stressing.
it worked out, but I mean, obviously it was awful for Mercedes, like
Did-
you were saying. We missed Kimmy's crash.
That's what
Didn't
I was.
Kimmy
Did he
crash?
crash or did his car
I think
combust?
I think he hit a wall out of the turn we always miss and drive through the corner like George did
Yeah.
in the game.
Yeah, he did hit a wall, and then he sadly walked back. And where you get
I think that's my favorite part of Monaco. You get to watch them sadly walk back with their helmets on, like, don't talk to me, I'm sad.
talk. It's like that's the only way you can get back to the pits is
Yeah.
going through the sidewalk.
It's really funny.
It's so funny. I love Monaco
Yeah.
just for the chaos.
It was very chaos. I enjoy the crashes. I really expected, you know how F2 had that massive pile up
Oh, yeah.
of the cars?
They're too good.
I know.
They're too good.
I thought Lando was about to go in a wall.
Lando at the beginning.
You and I saw.
everyone
Yeah,
did.
I mean, we saw the brakes. We went, oh my god, what happened? And then
Yeah.
everyone was fine, and it was a lot less exciting than we thought it was.
Yeah. Well,
I was worried he took out Charles.
Charles thought he was gonna go into the wall. Oscar thought he was gonna go
With
to
that
the
much
wall.
stop
With
it.
that much smoke.
It was scary. I guess let's
Like-
get into the drama, though.
Yeah. I don't know if there was really much shown with Gabe versus Kimmy, but I think it was clearly Kimmy kind of pushed him off. Like, he
Oh.
had no choice but to hit the
Well,
wall.
the thing is I think Kimmy knows how hard it is to overtake in Monaco and how hard it is to be overtaken. Saw himself getting overtook by a Sauber. and went,
not happening. Not happening.
Which is the level of pettiness I respect. But I mean, I think that's what it was. And I do think Gabe actually had a beautiful overtake, but obviously he's now on the outside line in Monaco in a very tight circuit. Couldn't get it. So, I mean, it's unfortunate. But if you're
Kimmy,
Kimmy,
tapped it. He was back into the race.
You and I thought he was going to be out.
I did too. Yeah.
I've hit the wall that slow on the video game and been taken out.
Yeah, but like video games from 2021. Alex versus George, which is probably the best drama of the entire, because the series of events
erratically.
The series of events that came from that moment, like if
the dinner afterwards,
if George didn't say that on the radio, his penalty wouldn't have been so severe.
Oh, the thing is I don't blame him one bit, because you know they're not going the fastest they can, and you can't overtake because they're going just fast enough to like get around the areas where you can overtake, because they'll bolt. So they probably were braking kind of erratically, because it's not what you would usually do in Monaco for the speed. Yeah. And so if I'm that angry and I know my car is like pretty solid, like Mercedes is second in constructors. I mean, it's close and they've had a rough 2 weeks, but I mean, you know your car is probably better. You had a terrible quali and you just won a race. And for George, like, I mean, he was in contention. Like, he wasn't top 3 for world, but he was still there. And I mean, he lost it the last 2 weeks, unless he has like immaculate driving the rest of the year, I would say. And so I mean, it's devastating for him, especially because that like basically completely. So I would probably be sitting there already angry about qualifying, and then I would be going, my best friend or one of my best friends is purposely slowing me down. And there's a wide open space right there. And then Kimmy following shortly after, because it's his brother. And I think it's so funny that Kimmy just took the penalty and like held the group back just for George. I honestly think Kimmy should have stayed there, because honestly, you cut ahead of both Williams and just take the cheating risk.
Fair enough.
Because like, why not? It gets George 2 points maybe, and you have enough time clearly to do the 2 drive-through penalties.
But then I love George talking about it, posting about it, saying Alex needs to buy him dinner, and then Alex says, I'll go through a drive-through, acting like the drive-through penalty. Yeah. And then the photo of the bill later that really night. Funny.
I mean, how do you not? Like, come on. you know so you were really mean the entire day. There was other stuff around that. Like, George was complaining, and that man's a diva, so you know he's complaining.
George's race interview afterwards was
He's so like, I just wanted to have fun. It's Monaco. I didn't get to enjoy anything.
You can put a sprinkler anywhere on the track just once, either qualifying or in the race. Just once, you put a sprinkler just to make it more interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
random patches of rain.
Drama. Bored Max. Max was bored. Is that it? Is that the drama?
He was bored.
That's not drama.
He literally said the race was like 1972. He was so bored. And then afterwards, he compared the race to Mario Kart.
Do. Copyright. Do. Copyright. Do.
Like, he was just so done with that race. Just like gets asked, how was the race?
Knows that he's probably gonna finish in 4th.
Yeah, it was just a lot. Toto versus James was also my favorite.
The cat meme, like the pointing, like rah.
James literally texting Toto during the race, going, "I'm so sorry, I have to do this," and Toto going, "I know."
Like, I would be so sad, because he, like, again, what was Mercedes on for getting the 2 stop? Because I've seen that on multiple sources.
Yeah, I think that is actually something Toto said. He forgot.
Like, how?
How do you forget?
He's like, we're on autopilot. It's Monaco. Qualifying is all that matters. Let's do this. And then when, like, 60 laps in, I'm supposed to stop twice.
Oh, also Toto on the radio telling George to like give it his all or do the overtake. Oh, that was so funny.
He couldn't because there was no space.
And then everything
George
happened.
Is a great driver. Like, George knows how to overtake and everything, but it's it's so hard in Monaco. And I think honestly, the way he did it, best way to do it, and then have Kimmy follow him, Stop everybody in your line and just
Yeah.
do it.
I also think Toto and James
I
yelling
think
at
the
each
strategy was to cheat.
other. Oh, 100%.
For Mercedes.
100%. I love Mercedes for that.
Mercedes, if you ever see this podcast, or the FIA, if you ever see this podcast, I do not endorse cheating of any kind in motorsports. Please give me free passes. That being said, I stand by my previous statement.
Mercedes had an Alpine weekend.
Oh, it was so bad. It was a Ferrari weekend.
I also just love Toto and James on the balcony yelling
Yeah,
at
that
each
was what
other.
I was
That
referring to
so
with the
funny.
cats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so funny. I love that. I think the race, if you think of it in a funny moment, not a sports and racing
No,
moment,
exactly. And
it
I
was
think
a
that's why you and
great
I had more
race.
fun, because we can be like the more like strategy heavy fans. But you and I are both also like, I don't think you got into it through Drive to Survive, did you?
No, I did not.
I don't think either of us did, but you and I both enjoy a good Drive to Survive episode.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
it's just funny, and they're gonna use that in Drive to Survive as like a petty like.
Wait for the
race moment.
Monaco episode for Drive to Survive.
Well,
I
you
wanna
know they're
see the
gonna show like
differences.
Monaco, like who's behind Williams? Williams and it wouldn't be Haas.
Aston Martin, maybe. I don't know.
No.
There wouldn't be. I think it would be.
It would be Racing Bulls and Aston Martin, probably.
Maybe not
Or like
really.
Haas. I don't know.
I don't know how the
They
episode
would do
go.
the hold up thing.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, they'd show it for Mercedes incompetence in the constructor
Uh-huh.
battle, probably.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, Mercedes, I love you. I normally don't think you're incompetent, but this was a rough showing. Again, I'm your fan. I own merch, but this was a rough one, guys, and it's hard to defend as a fan. Do you want to get into our drivers of the day?
Yeah. Mine was Isaac, just because their strategy was so amazing, and he was like the one out in front because he qualified well too. So like that's also why, and he kept it, and he did well.
Don't want to give it to Liam.
I don't want to give it to Liam.
I gave it to
don't
Liam
wanna
because
give it.
I'm realistic. I think Liam rarely shows that he's willing to play for a team. And I think Liam sacrificed a lot to do this strategy that got Racing Bull the wins, and this was the most defined, not the win, but like the double points. And this was the most impactful strategy of the weekend. So honestly, I would give it to Racing Bull as like team as a whole.
They did so well.
But I mean, I think driver of the day was Liam because he actually showed he could work for the team and do all these actions and hold up pretty impressively. And I mean, they're putting more attention on Williams because they were more the back half of the race doing it. But I do think Racing Bulls was the most influential team, and I think Liam was the most influential driver.
Yeah, they were very influential, and I think like they showed more of Williams, but I think because Williams caused the chaos.
Yeah.
It wasn't Racing Bulls. Racing Bulls, I don't remember anyone complaining about them while it was happening.
I think they probably were, but I think the announcers were telling us what they were doing during that time, so they probably weren't playing the radio messages. And then you and I don't really root for midfield, so we weren't on those channels. It would have been interesting to tap in though to hear what because Williams would have been behind them to hear what they were saying when they realized the strategy.
When they realized to do it, because I'm assuming everyone's was, but like I listened to Oscar the entire time, and like his radio was constantly on. He was
I'm sure because this was
a
a first time thing.
Yeah, and I think that was everyone pretty much.
Oh, I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, I think obviously Racing Bull's most influential team of the day. I don't necessarily disagree though with Charles getting like the fan vote driver of the day because he had a great weekend as a whole. But I do think I think he would be probably like second, third.
Yeah.
Not first, in my opinion.
He just wasn't. He did what he needed to do.
Yeah, I mean, he drove great, but I mean, I don't think it really compares to what Racing Bulls did to actually impact it. And then I do think I think for Williams, it was not more risky, but I think they got really lucky with Fernando's brakes. I don't think it was as impactful for them without the brake. Obviously, without the brake, Carlos is out of points.
Mm-hmm. So, then our favorite radio messages, because there were so many funny moments. I know there were so many because even your radio messages I like.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed a lot of the radio messages. Like I enjoy the classic no.
Oh, those ones are. I really liked Lando at the end being like, "Woohoo, Monaco, baby!"
Yeah, that made me. I was really
made me so happy.
The thing is obviously I really like Lando, but I don't root for Lando. But I was happy for him because you and I talk about this. I feel like he really needs a win for his mental health. But I mean, in terms, I was
As I
devastated
s-
for Charles.
Yeah, as I said in the moment, I was like, that sounds like the old Lando.
Yeah,
And
I
was
think he
like,
needed
I
it.
loved that for him, and I think I love it when Lando's like that. That is my favorite Lando.
Well, I think that's why the season has been so hard to watch him, because it's
Yeah.
such a difference in how he
Yeah.
usually acts as like smiley, bubbly,
Mhm.
happy
Yeah.
party boy.
Yeah, but he's not a party boy anymore. He said he gave up drinking.
Probably good on his
It's
part.
good on his
Yeah.
part. And he said he's not on social media. Yeah, he's for anyone who argues against that, he's not the one actually posting the stuff on his Instagram. He 100% has someone doing it for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's
Like-
most drivers, because I think they have to get vetted.
Eh,
I think
not actually.
Pierre
Some of
and
them,
Esteban have
I think
both said they run
Oscar,
it.
I think actually runs.
That makes sense with his terrible captions.
That was great captions. What do you mean?
Oh, they're comical.
Yeah.
But they're
No,
not poetry.
I think a lot of them do. I don't. Max potentially doesn't. I think Lando doesn't. But I think Lando doesn't because he needs.
Yeah.
To not be on
He
social
cannot.
media because he is one of the most hated drivers.
Which is not fair.
I know. He's like the most loved and the most hated at the same time. There's no
it's
end
devastating
between.
for him. I mean, let's get into our actual radio messages, though. I mean,
Yeah.
we're both pretty biased because we like
both
our
picked
teams.
our favorites.
There were a bunch I liked, but for me, I guess the one that stood out to me was this is the George and Alex interaction right before the cut.
Mhm.
And it was Alex, I guess he's taking the penalty, and then George immediately getting shown afterward going, we'll take the penalty. He's driving erratically. Like with a lot of emphasis on erratically.
Olivia just likes George saying British words.
Yes. I think it's so funny.
Toast.
His tires were
Erratically.
toast. And his tires were audacious. I love George.
Her and her British.
I plead the fifth.
I'm all team Zach over here, just going "Rah!" like an American.
I wonder why American. I'm also American. That doesn't mean very much.
I couldn't choose between these two because I think Oscar and Lando were just pretty funny in themselves. Oscar being his sassy little self going, so what's the plan? Because that didn't work very well after the pit stop.
That was quite funny.
That was good on Oscar's part. And then obviously at the end of Lando going, where's Oscar? I need him to put Charles under some pressure.
Yeah, those were really good. I mean, it was a good day for radios because there was just so much chatter going on. Like even Max is like, we're driving like
it's Monaco 1972.
Like that was really funny. I mean, I think everybody had some good moments.
Charles had some funny ones when Max
Lando, hurry up or whatever.
Yeah.
What are you doing? With a Monegasque accent.
It was so funny the entire. And then the driver's room after the race. You didn't watch it. The thing in full.
I didn't watch it in full.
Watched the after part.
I
which
was
didn't
hungry.
know anything.
I wanted food.
I thought it was so funny of Oscar immediately as Lando walks in going, I thought you were in the wall turn 1, and Charles going, oh yeah, I thought you were too, and Lando going, I thought I was too.
That is really funny. I mean, they've been really funny all weekend. I think
yeah.
being home and sleeping in their own beds and whatever probably does wonders.
Probably helps so much. Like, yeah, it's like a 3-weekend series right now, but I think since it's all so close to each other, they don't have to deal with like time zones as much at all. Like when I go to Eastern time, I'm fine. Like I don't get any difference. I'm fine too,
but obviously we're in Central right now, and everyone thinks I'm still in Eastern time. For some reason, from my friends at home, because I'm from Eastern time, so they'll send me things and be like, or like they'll be like, "Oh, when do you want to call?" And I'll specify like, because I know they do this. I'm like, "Let's do 4 Central," and I get a call at 3 Central, and I'm like, "No, I specify Central." I do like, I'm not gonna say his name, but I do the thing, you know that he always, you know what I'm talking about. And they still don't get it. And I'm like, no. And I'll have like my parents or something specify the time. And they're like, Eastern, of course. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, I'm in a different time zone than you. For me, it's different. And I mean, I think I told you, I keep my computer like emails still in Eastern and everything. Because a lot of my medical stuff comes in. So like if there's like something I have to reply on. But it's a pain. You and I will have to deal with that for when we
you
move
go
back
yeah.
home because I will be in a different time zone. But
But we'll be fine.
we're gonna
You just
keep
need
the
to be able
podcast going.
to stay up later.
Oh yeah, because you'll be working. I mean, I'll be working too because I think I'm
Well, it just
actually taking
depends.
the I mean, I guess they can know this. I think I'm taking the night shift, like one of the later shifts for the team I coach.
Well, I guess I don't know when.
So I think I might actually be out until like 9:30, and then the pool we'd be at is a half hour away. So my schedule has gotten a lot stranger.
Yeah. Well, that's adulting for you.
I don't want to be an adult.
Do you have any other thoughts on Monaco?
I think it's overhated.
I do too. I want to go to a Monaco Grand Prix just once in my life.
Can somebody please donate money?
Yeah.
I know.
Honestly, I'd go to any of the American ones too, but like, even though they're super far away and still super expensive for us because they're super far away.
Can't we like just put a Grand Prix in like New York? Like, why not?
I think they should bring. Well, they're thinking about Chicago.
I don't think
Chicago's on the
Chicago.
list
I
of
think
new
honestly,
ones.
you and I were talking about this. I think there used to be one in Detroit, right?
There used to be one in Detroit.
I think like if you want a place with motor history, you do Detroit or Indiana.
Yeah, but they're gonna go Chicago because it's bigger city, more money.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Chicago still has space.
Yeah.
Or outside Chicago, because I doubt it would actually be inside Chicago.
Yeah, and if they're gonna take away one, I think it should be Miami.
I like Miami, and Miami's extended. I think you get rid of Vegas for the
I
U.S.
think Vegas is gonna get extended, but like, I don't think they're gonna take.
I don't think you need this many in the U.S. is the problem. I think you need 2.
Yeah. Well,
Honestly, get rid of it in Texas.
I know you, but it's a historic race. They're never gonna do it.
I like the historic races when they're not Texas.
Oh, whatever. I like the aesthetic
Texans
of
who will eventually listen, hopefully at some point. I am sorry, but apparently you call me Yank, so deal with it.
Damn. Well, but also the Texas race, it could be easier for us to go to.
Ooh, are we going to be talking about? Oh, we could. Sorry, this is a future podcast idea, but you can listen to this because we're kind of in a wrap up area anyway.
Yeah.
We could do a cute little like video on the way. We're going to a game tomorrow for the Brewers. We could do a cute little video wrapping up the game, like after we get out. Like just film it on your phone and upload it. Like why not? Or like a cute, not a vlog, but like that type of vibe where like cute videos of us being like, woo.
Well, that would be more something to put on TikTok.
Oh, look at us. Enjoy us talking about our process, everybody.
I am the social media guru here.
I like history. I'm a history major. I'm about to graduate with my bachelor's in history.
Yeah.
And because of that, I never had to learn technology.
I'm going to be the guru for everything here.
I'd like to help more, but I genuinely think I'd break it.
I think you would, and I don't trust you with it.
Yeah, I'm here to provide a voice and a partnership, and I add some ideas.
Because even if we do actually start making money, I'm going to be the one dealing with it.
It's through your email techniques. No, well, it's not, because we made a company email.
But I'm more the fact that I am an economics major.
I have some understanding of econ. Not as much as you.
Girl was struggling with supply and demand.
No. It was the unit after supply and demand.
What was it?
I don't remember. I blocked it. But I understand the supply and demand curve quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. That's not helpful at any point. I literally took a business financing class.
Oh, yeah.
This is a business and it's financing.
You'll be okay, the issue is you cannot complain about me in the future not knowing what I'm doing. If you are willingly taking it, you do not get to go. Olivia doesn't put in as much work.
Olivia doesn't put in any effort.
Olivia tries to put in effort. Olivia doesn't know what she's doing.
You can make Instagram posts.
I could.
We found something for her to do.
I can run Insta.
And you could do the threads, because I know we don't want to use Twitter, Blue Sky.
I want to use Blue Sky. You
okay,
vetoed me.
If you want to make a Blue Sky account, go for it.
Not right now. So I'll make a Blue Sky account. I will.
To those who's watching the videos, do you see my eyes? Do you see my reaction?
No, I'll do it. I'll do it tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm busy.
It takes 2 seconds.
I'm not doing it tonight.
I'll make the account and just give it to you.
I'll make the account.
Anyways, we got off track from the Monaco Grand Prix.
Sorry,
This
is our normal relationship,
Yeah.
everybody.
It was a great race comparatively. I loved it.
Yeah.
I don't care what
You and
anyone
I
else
both really
says.
liked it.
Everyone else sucks. Their opinions don't matter.
Our opinions are the only ones that matter. We are the best. Everyone else is the worst. Please subscribe, like, download.
I don't know what else you do.
What's the other stuff?
I don't know.
Bye, everybody.